I used to dread cleaning. I thought organizing was just another boring chore no one actually enjoyed. And honestly, I often felt overwhelmed staring down a messy room. For years, I avoided it because it felt like a waste of time or just something to get done quickly so I could move on. But the truth is, the moment I started organizing my home deliberately, it became this deeply calming and even empowering ritual. If someone told me that tidying up could change how I feel about myself, my day, I would have laughed, but stick with me, because I found out there's a powerful psychology behind why people who love organizing feel so calm and powerful. And that's exactly what I want to share with you today. You're not alone if you've ever felt stressed or overwhelmed by clutter. I was there, but I learned that there's more beneath the surface of cleaning than just aesthetics. I remember one particularly chaotic week when my mental clutter felt just as heavy as the physical mess in my apartment. Clothes everywhere, stacks of unopened mail, kitchen counters piled with dishes. I felt out of control and exhausted. That's when I discovered something surprising. The act of cleaning actually helped me reset emotionally. It wasn't just about a clean space. It was like clearing my mind. That's when I began paying attention to what organizing was doing inside me, psychologically. First, a big part of it is about control. When life feels chaotic, which mine often did, especially during stressful jobs or after family conflicts, cleaning gave me something predictable and manageable. I could choose to focus on folding a shirt or arranging books by color. This tiny zone of order pushed back against the overwhelming feelings. It was like telling my brain, hey, you can handle this. There's real science behind this too. Studies show that people who organize their space experience drops in cortisol, the stress hormone. So the very act of tidying is literally calming your nervous system, which explains the calm. But there's also this unexpected feeling of power that comes with it. The crazy part is that organizing your environment takes effort, but it's that effort that creates a sense of accomplishment and empowerment. I remember a time when I finished decluttering my desk, and just sitting at that clean, empty space felt like I had reclaimed a bit of my life. You feel like you're physically shaping your world, which reflects back onto how you see yourself. That's empowerment. It's like gardening. You plant seeds by making small choices to get rid of what no longer serves you, and soon the space flourishes. The moment that changed everything for me was when I stopped thinking cleaning had to be perfect or massive. I realized small, intentional actions every day shaped my mental well-being more than a big weekend purge ever could. Here's the thing. It doesn't have to be about a spotless Instagram picture or perfect minimalism. It's about creating a space where you can breathe and feel calm. I thought organizing meant being fastidious and rigid, but once I understood that it could also mean being gentle and purposeful, I felt free to start. I started with just one drawer or one shelf. The result, a chain reaction of calm that rippled into how I handled my day. I noticed I felt less anxious, more focused, and surprisingly more creative. That's because clutter actually competes for your attention. When your space is chaotic, your mind is too, like having too many tabs open on your browser and your computer slowing down. Decluttering your surroundings is like closing unnecessary tabs in your mind. More importantly, organizing taps into our brain's natural desire for order and predictability, which releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. You get a little hit of joy from finishing a task, a very real biochemical reward for organizing. I didn't believe it at first, but every time I tidied a shelf or put away laundry, I felt a spike of satisfaction and calm. So here's what you can try. Start with a small, manageable area, maybe a junk drawer or a nightstand. Set a timer for just 10 minutes and focus on that. Don't pressure yourself to do the whole room. Just notice the satisfaction that comes from finishing that task and pause to appreciate it. That small win triggers a positive feedback loop that makes you want to keep going. Another thing I learned is that organizing connects deeply to how we value ourselves. When you care enough to create an intentional space, you're sending a message to yourself that you matter. For a long time, I didn't think my environment reflected my worth. I let it spiral into clutter because I felt unworthy of a calm, beautiful space. Cleaning changed that mindset for me. It became an act of self-care and respect, not a chore. That internal shift was life-changing. Every little box I labeled or shirt I folded became a small act of kindness toward myself, which gathered momentum as days passed. Try this now. Pick one thing you touch every day, a coffee mug, your phone charger, your work bag, and organize the space around it. Notice how that simple act can shift your mood. If you think you don't have the time, remember that even slow, imperfect progress beats overwhelm. At first, I resisted. I thought organizing would take time I didn't have. But once I started, it became a grounding ritual that saved me time and mental energy in the long run. One thing I want to mention is why some people get so obsessed with organizing while others don't. It turns out it's a mix of personality, past experiences, and what I call neuropsychological rewards. People who love organizing often have a stronger need for control and structure, especially if life outside their home feels unpredictable. For me, organizing became my safe space in a world that often felt chaotic and fast-moving. You might have a different trigger. Maybe it's aesthetic joy or simply loving the feeling of clear surfaces. Another fascinating aspect is that organizing can be therapeutic because it helps process emotions. I realized that when I cleaned, I was actually sorting through feelings, letting go of things I didn't need, I tried to let go of mental baggage. This process helped me feel lighter, more optimistic. In psychology, this is known as the endowment effect, where we overvalue things we own. But when you intentionally declutter, you retrain your brain not to hold onto useless things just because they are familiar. That was hard at first. I kept things just in case, but learning to let go was freeing. And here's a practical tip. Before you start decluttering, ask yourself what feeling this item gives you. Keep the ones that bring joy or utility. Lovingly thank the others and say goodbye. This can turn a messy chore into a mindful practice. I encourage you to be patient. If you've struggled with clutter for years, one session won't fix it all. But the daily or weekly commitment to organizing will build resilience and self-trust. It creatively rewires your brain to focus on what's important, which in turn reduces decision fatigue. Lastly, organizing helps build habits that support mental clarity. When your space is ordered, you spend less time searching, less time procrastinating, and more time being intentional with your life. For example, I started keeping my keys and wallet in the same place every day, and that simple trick cut down my stress of running late. These small habits add up to a calmer, more powerful day. The challenge is this. Most people ignore their environment's effect on their mind, so they keep tolerating clutter and chaos. You don't have to be that person. Try this now. Spend 5 minutes each day tidying a corner, and notice how that tiny act changes your emotional state. Over time, it builds momentum, and you'll be amazed at how much lighter and more in control you feel. To sum it up, loving to organize your home isn't just about clean surfaces or pretty shelves. It's about reclaiming control, calming your nervous system, valuing yourself, and rewiring your brain for joy and focus. It's a powerful act that transforms not just your space, but the way you live your life. So choose what resonates most, start small today, and give yourself permission to enjoy the process instead of rushing to finish. What's one area you've been avoiding organizing? I'd love to hear about what small action you'll take to create calm and power in your space. Drop a comment below. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe, because there's so much more to explore about creating lives that feel good from the inside out. You deserve a home and a mind that feels calm and powerful. Let's get there together.